What's going on, guys? It's Greg here, aka New York Prepper. In this video I'm going to review the Hornady M-1 case tumbler. This is a vibratory case tumbler from Hornady. It's a very affordable option if you're new to reloading or if you're looking for a cost-effective case tumbler that's not going to break the bank and one that actually works. This case tumbler has a lot of good reviews on the internet. I've been using it for quite a while now, and so I wanted to just do a quick review and show you guys how well it works. And so this case tumbler has a 5-pound media capacity, and right now I'm running some walnut media. Okay, I have probably about 4 to 5 pounds of media. Here's my crushed walnut that I'm using. All right, I got about 75 cases of 500 Smith & Wesson Magnum and about 75 cases of 44 Magnum. All right, and I always tumble my cases twice. I clean them twice. I clean them before I deprime and resize, and then I clean them after I resize. Okay, so I tumble twice. So I have about 150 Magnum pistol cases in here. Hornady says that this tumbler can handle up to 180 3006 cases and up to 438 special cases. So I have about 150 Magnum pistol cases in here, and Hornady says you could do about 180 3006. And so I didn't want to go more than 150 because the 500 Magnum and the 44 Magnum are pretty big cases, and they take up a lot of room inside the tumbler. I could probably fit another 50 cases, I would say, comfortably. Beyond that, it's going to overfill and go over the capacity of the case tumbler. So here I have some dirty 500 Magnum and 44 Magnum cases. All right, you can see how dirty these cases are. You got some powder residue on this one here. Here's a 500 Magnum case. You can see the powder residue and the carbon. All right, here's another 44 mag case. You can see all the powder residue and the carbon. All right, so I'm going to show you guys how well this tumbler cleans these cases. It cleans these cases very, very well and makes them nice and shiny and polished. All right, so stick around, and I'm going to let this run for a little while, and I'm going to pull the cases out, and I'm going to show you how well it cleaned these cases in here. But before I do that, I want to just quickly show you what the unit looks like. All right, it's just a standard tumbler. There's the Hornady logo there. It's got an on-off button. It's got this clear cover on the top with a little wing nut that secures it. Okay, so it comes with a sifter. All right, it comes with this sifter here. Okay, and that's what you use to get the media you can reuse the media multiple times. Okay, so I'll show you guys the cases. Okay, here's a bunch of cases in here. All right, so I'm going to come back in about 2 or 3 hours, and we're going to see how well these cases were cleaned. I had this running for 20 minutes, and you could see it's already polished this case a little bit here. Okay, if you compare like one of these dirty ones to this one on the right, you could see only after 20 minutes it's already starting to get polished. So my recommendation to you guys when you're using case tumblers is don't go over capacity. Okay, you know, it's better for the life of the tumbler if you fill it up, let's say 3/4 of capacity. You know, you don't want to have a ton of shells in here. It takes longer. All right, it's better to do a little bit less and you know, then max out the unit and put a lot of strain on the motor. All right, all right, guys, so I'm gonna update you as I tumble these cases, so stick around. All right, guys, so I had the tumbler run for about 2 hours, and I stopped it to check the progress. And look at these beautiful cases here, how nicely polished they are. We got these 500 Magnum cases here. You can see how shiny and clean they are compared to before when they had all the carbon and powder residue. All right, look at how beautiful these cases are now. Here's some 44 mag case right here. All right, this actually looks even better than from the factory. It has this nice polished look to it. Okay, this yellowish polished look. That's how you know that it's very clean. Now, some of the 44 mag cases were a little bit dirty still, so I'm going to let it run for another hour, you know, just to be on the safe side and make sure it's very well cleaned. You could see here a little bit of residue there on these two cases, you know, but it's not bad considering I have 150 cases or more in here. You know, so you still have some residue on this guy right here. All right, so I'm going to throw these back in. I'm going to let it run for another hour or so, and then we'll check the progress, but I think it's pretty good. So stick around for the rest of the video. All right, guys, so we've already tumbled for 3 hours now, and I'm going to sift out the walnut media and separate the shells out. What I've done is I've taken my tumbler and my stuff outside, because what happens is when you're sifting out the shells from the walnut media, it creates a lot of dust. And that dust has a lot of lead and different kind of nasty stuff in it. All right, all the lead residue and the powder residue that got stuck to the cases is now embedded in that walnut dust. Okay, so if you're doing your sifting, you want to do it outside. All right, so here I took all the walnut media with the shells, and I dumped it into this Trader Joe's shopping bag. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to dump it back in. I got my sifter that comes with the M-1. I just slide it right over the top here, and now I'm just going to gently pour. I'm going to gently pour the walnut media into the tumbler here. Okay, and get the shells out. All right, and you always want to avoid breathing in any kind of dust. All right, you guys see some of the dust coming out. You want to avoid breathing that in, all right, because that's going to have some nasty stuff in there, okay? All right, so you can see how clean and beautiful this brass is. Okay, I'll show you guys in a second. Now I'm just going to right. All right, we got everything out now. Just gonna shake the media into the bowl. Almost like panning for gold. All right, we're just gonna shake it all in so it gets into the bowl. All right, so that's pretty much it, guys. I'll just pull these up and show you how nice and clean they are. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to take my hands and I'm going to run it. I'm just going to do this to the shells because a lot of the cases have walnut media stuck inside. All right, and rather than taking every single case and dumping it out, I'm just going to do this. I'm going to turn it upside down. Okay, do this a couple of times. Get everything out. All right. All right, guys, look at this beautiful brass. It's all clean now. All right, look at that shiny yellow brass. Still got some more walnut media in here. All right, look at this. Beautiful. All right, look at how clean this brass is here. It's yellow, it's clean, it's beautiful. I'm going to clean it a second time once I pop the primers out and resize. All right, but this is an initial cleaning here, and just look at how clean and yellow and shiny this is. All right, and you don't have to get your brass 100% perfect. All right, you're not going to get it 100% perfect. You know, if you have a few cases that have a little bit of dirt on them, you know, that's okay. It's not the end of the world, okay? But you just want to avoid having like really dirty cases, you know? But if you have a few cases here and there with some dirt, that's okay. It's perfectly acceptable. It doesn't have to be picture perfect, okay? But, so I'm ready to reload these now. You know, look at how much brass I have here. This is probably about, if I were to buy this brass at the store and buy brand new brass rather than tumbling it, it would probably cost me an extra, you know, almost $100, you know, maybe even more, okay, for all this brass, because I have the 500 Magnum and the 44 Magnum. The brass is not cheap, especially for the 500 Magnum. All right, brass is expensive, so, you know, tumbling saves you a lot of money. This M-1 tumbler is great for entry level, you know, beginner reloader. It's a good price. It works, and you know, you can get a lot of life out of brass. You know, one case you could reuse at least a couple of times. You just have to inspect the brass to make sure it's not compromised, that the integrity is not compromised in any way. You want to look for any kind of cracks, especially at the mouth here. You want to look for any split cases or any kind of evidence that the case is compromised in any way. All right, so that's pretty much it, guys. The M1 Hornady case tumbler. I hope you enjoyed this video, and thank you guys so much for watching. I'm going to go and separate this out now and put it into some bags, and then I'm going to go and de-prime, remove the primers, and full-length resize these cases. So I'm going to go ahead and do that right now. Thank you for watching. Take care. God bless. And don't forget the 3 Ps. Prepare, practice, and persevere.